Ready? Good.
What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and we are here with an East vs. West 6 recap video. So, warning, there are spoilers. If you haven't seen the event, go get it, pay for it, support fucking Engin and East vs. West, because it's by far the best production, as we will continue to say for a very long time until somebody else takes the lead, which I don't see happening because Engin's on fire.
Yeah, Engin's on fire.
Yeah, so even if you know the results of the matches, it's still worth watching. I knew all the results before I bought it again because I had to work that day, and just watched it when I got home. And
I just muted our group chat so I couldn't see any of the messages.
Yeah.
But still managed to get some spoilers.
Yeah, but either way, the matches are all so epic, even if you know the result, worth watching. So pay for it, watch it. But we're going to go over a few matches that we wanted to talk about.
The key matches,
And here we go.
So first one, I think, is the biggest upset, maybe, on the card, and it's probably one of the most entertaining matches, was John Brzenk versus Iraqi Zurap. First round, right? We thought, if John can take the hand, then it's pretty much over. What is Iraqi going to do? He's a pure top roller. We never really see him go inside too often, so if John can win the hand battle, it's over.
Yeah, we definitely knew or felt like there's no way he's coming in to set a hook or anything like that. And like Alex said, our prediction based on how it looked on paper before going into this match was, if John can take his hand, the match is over, and we felt like John for sure had enough side pressure to just kind of finish to the side. That was our prediction, and
it looked like
round one kind of looked like that exactly. John, once he actually cracked Iraqli's hand back, that little fucking roar and growl and scream that he let out of like, I'm gonna fucking dominate you, was just epic. A lot of people, we've heard like some chatter that people, did John like give him the presses at the end? Was he playing with him too much? Was, did he sort of like have too much pride to like look like he was dominating and then instead of actually dominating and just finishing? And I don't think that's the case. I think that
I think Iraqi arm wrestled very smart.
Yes.
And he put everything into that match. He said afterwards that was the most grueling match he's ever had.
Yep.
The most he's ever had to fight.
Yep.
And he arm wrestled really well, even though he was flop pressing when in the later rounds when John was a little bit too maybe eager to come up for a press. Iraqi reversed well and went back onto his back pressure, even with the lost hand.
He used the flop press how he needed to technically in the match. He didn't fight for things that he couldn't win. If he had just kept trying to maintain his hand and access his back pressure, John would have just burnt him out so bad, and then he wouldn't have had any other options. But he got into his press, which is something we didn't expect to see, and something similar to like how the Dave Chafee match went, right? Where all of a sudden we see Dave do something that like we've never seen him do before, but obviously he's built, he's trained, he's strong enough to hold up that shape. And maybe he does it a lot in practice, because that's how I think we both pull like that, where we do a lot of stuff in practice that we don't do in matches because we're just fucking around in practice, but in a match it really matters. But I think saying that John was giving it to him or anything like that, not only do I not feel that John was doing that, but I feel like that's taking so much away from how much Iraqi not only put into that match, but also evolved and exceeded expectations, right?
And that kind of takes some away from John too. Like, why would John ever give a match?
No,
he's putting everything into
I think that the thing that people are forgetting about John is that he is almost 60 years old. The body has limits. There are, you can't, no matter, he's way better, way smarter, has different attributes now than he did when he was Iraqli's age, but there's no way he's got the energy he did when he was Iraqli's age. So I think
half his age.
Yeah, I think less than that. He's almost like a third, because Iraqli's like early 20s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Iraqli's like 24, 25.
Yeah.
So he's more than half or less than half of John's age. Anyway, blah blah blah. Point is that I think that a lot of what seemed like John giving things away or giving up or something like that was just the fact that he was reaching limits. And like there was one point where Neil Pickup's like, "Oh my God, John's gassed out." He was genuinely shocked. Like, holy fuck, I've never seen John actually gas out before. And I think that was what was actually happening, which is just kudos to Iraqi, and also kudos to John. He put it all on the line. He went as far as he could, and fell up a little short this time, but took it like a champ and is ready to move on, and still had great moments and showed us how strong he was. Again, the way the match looked like it was going to go, I think that John was totally in control, and I think how he was playing with the press was probably consistent with how it felt on the table to him at the moment, knowing that Iraqi doesn't do that. So he might have been more like, oh man, like you can press. I'm not expecting this to feel like, what was his name that was pressing him? Petrenko or whatever, right? So, but it looks like it actually was. So
yeah, and
anyway.
Later in the rounds when he was maybe too eager to go for the press, maybe that was his mistake. Maybe he should have still.
It looked like it was a good time to go. I think it was more. I think again, it's more just how beastly Iraqi was to be able to, with his hand lost, still pull out and back as hard as he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think more than John made any mistakes or even that John is old or any of that stuff, I think it was just Iraqi fucking made a seriously amazing performance.
Yeah.
So
okay. On to the next match. Another super hyped match, super exciting match was Kirigali and Zurap versus Michael Todd.
Yes.
And I think our club was pretty mixed about who we thought was going to win this match. Obviously, Michael Todd's been on a bit of a losing streak lately. Kirigali just beat John Brzenk, and he's always a high performer and knows every technique in the book.
So technically sound, like
so good, so
honestly,
quick.
Probably one of the best, if not the best, technical arm wrestlers. Like just his ability to flow between the techniques. It's not just even his ability to execute each one, his ability to put them all together. Like against Michael, the way he was going up, like going in, going out, going in, going out, defending out when he needed to, you know, like just all over the table with such
it's amazing to watch him.
And like grace. He's like graceful when he arm wrestles.
Yeah, they call him the Bruce Lee of arm wrestling.
He really is. Yeah. He really is like pure fury and power and but so graceful and so smooth and so coordinated. It's just unbelievable.
Couple of things that were kind of shitty to see were just the bad calls on Michael Todd.
I don't think that they affected the outcome necessarily. Like I don't think Michael Todd would have won without them because Angabayev was just, it didn't even seem like he was getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
Like that last hit when he finally pinned Mike at the end was the most ferocious one of the whole day, which I think had to do more with the fact that Mike might have actually been getting a little bit more tired.
Something I was thinking of is that's usually Mike's plan, right? To make his opponent tired. So in effect, it would be helping him for more stops and starts.
Yeah.
You know, but it didn't in this case. And I don't think that would have changed the match if he didn't get those calls.
Yeah.
But the calls still were wrong and they shouldn't be in the future. Who knows? Maybe that did get frustrating in Michael Todd's head.
I agreed with. I mean, Michael Todd gets obviously extremely emotional, and that's part of why people like him and hate him. But I think he was warranted in getting emotional about and trying to defend himself because
it's a big fucking deal.
It's a huge deal. He's got money at home that if he wins, he's going to get, like, there's bonus money involved for him. There's a lot of reasons why you get that into it. But I mean, as far as we understand, like the rule, like this is fine. This is not. And I didn't see Michael at any point in the match do this.
No. Like
at no point in the match did I see his shoulder, even his humerus bone, come to a parallel angle.
Yeah,
you know,
and
like,
both commentators were in agreement with this. They had the best angle. We went to all the instant replays, couldn't see a single time where Michael Todd's humerus dipped below parallel.
I agree with calling this foul, and I'm a Kings mover, and I don't ever try to do it like this. Sometimes it does happen, and I'm fine with being called for a foul if it does, but I feel like it has to be egregious. I feel like it can't be such a, like, are you on the line? It's kind of the same with the shoulder over the center. Like am I over the center? I'm right on the line right now. It's got, to me, this foul, if you're going to call it, has to be like egregious. Like I have to be on your side of the table, you know, like, and I think that's kind of what happened with that rule was they're I don't know if it's Engin or what, or just the ref, but they were a little bit too tight on it to the point where, I mean, I don't even think it was even close to being callable.
Yeah.
But I do feel it needs to be more egregious than that, and I don't feel like Michael was gaining a huge advantage.
No,
you know?
definitely.
I think they just get frustrated with the fact that his arm doesn't open, you know, but even when George does it and his arm is even like opens even less than Michael's, like he never dips below the table. It's just the way the move works. It doesn't work for him to do it. Like you're not trying to do it like this.
But I just don't get why people find it frustrating to see him arm wrestle like that. It makes for such amazing matches. Like, it's just a
how many
great
times
match.
did it go like this to the pin pad? It was.
And we get to see Kirigali
Even
arm wrestling everywhere on the table to
Because
such
of
a
it.
high degree of proficiency. Like, that's amazing to see. We wouldn't get to see that if it wasn't him versus Michael Todd.
And even Travis made the point, like, this is why Michael Todd has been a headliner for so many years, because he makes for unbelievably exciting matches, you know? And a lot of them usually do go, he's down 2-0 and then he turns it around on them and comes back and starts dominating. So,
and Kirigali just faced John Brzenk, and this match was way more entertaining than that match.
But again, I think attacking Michael Todd for this loss, or saying that, oh, like, I saw one stupid comment. I try to avoid arm wrestling uncensored as much as possible, because I find it just such a toxic place for arm wrestling and bullshit and trolls and stuff. But I did see one comment where somebody was like, oh, you're an embarrassment to America or something. And it's like, first of all, that shit is so useless. Don't say that shit. And second of all, I don't think that this was Michael Todd not performing. I think this is Ungabayev is fucking unbelievable. He just beat John Brzenk and he just beat Michael Todd. And we're not going to get into the whole like steroid talk or anything, but I think we both agree he's probably one of the only guys that was on that stage that day that's 100% natty or close to it. He's got so much potential. This, like, when Travis was like, this young man is
He's 28,
the future
right?
of it. Yeah, this guy is gonna be like a John Brzenk, I think, long term. Like, he's unbelievable, and I think accrediting his victory to anything of Michael Todd's shortcomings is taking away from how well Ungabayev did. I don't think it had to do with that. I think Michael Todd was super well prepared and left it all on the table, fought for himself, fought against the calls. I don't think Michael Todd could have done anything else, which is why I don't think the calls actually mattered. I think even if all the calls were good, he still would have ended up losing that match overall, because Ungabayev looked like he was on another level.
Definitely, 100%. And we kind of got carried away. We're going to talk about this match first.
Yeah, but this is definitely one that's close to our hearts, that might be not such a huge hype match, but obviously we want to talk about it, and that is our boy Curtis Cameron from the Ottawa High Hookers and his unfortunate bicep injury. Obviously no definitive news yet. He hasn't been to a doctor or anything, but I mean, based on our experience and my experience specifically watching the replay many times now, it looks pretty clear like it was a full tear and detached bicep. And again, we did a video about it. It was kind of we'll go over a little bit of maybe technically what kind of led to it. And again, I haven't really talked to him, so I don't even know what he was feeling or what was going on in the match. But there was definitely a part where his hand's getting away from him. He's in this position, and I think because he's been practicing his King's move a lot, I think that he was trying to roll out to a King's move, so he does the lean back into his bicep. But because Zurap had so much control of his pronation through the entire match, like each round, he was able to, his pronator's already turned down, so he dips into his bicep trying to probably pronate, which is putting a ton of pressure through the whole area where the bicep tendon connects. And in a match like that, Zurap is on his elbow with his frame on top of that tendon. It's just bad news bears. But again, I think
Curtis, you could tell Curtis is strong. He's not on Zurap's level in the hook, but it is close.
I think he's on his level strength-wise. I think he's right there, maybe even stronger than Zurap. I think it came down to technical issues. I think that Curtis, as strong as he is, and as much as he gets to pull with Devin and Evan and BLM, I think Evan and BLM, like, he's way stronger than those two guys, but they're way better arm wrestlers. And Devin is stronger than him and a better arm wrestler. So he's working Devin more than Devin's like working him sometimes, and
they're obviously completely different pullers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think if Curtis had like 3 training sessions with Toddzilla before this match with Zurab, probably could have looked totally different, because there's a few things of how he's setting his hook and everything, or how he's pulling in his hook, which again technically we're going to go over. I think we both think he was trying to post and top roll, or like sweep.
He was definitely
top roll.
Definitely posting hard in the setup, which even Ray mentioned was just opening him up to being turned over into a hook and losing his pronation. I think it was clear that he was trying to high hook, sweep, like keep his pronation, keep all his fundamentals, and beat the hand. But was just not able to keep his pronation at all, and that was just digging him into a bad hook. Yeah, for sure. And first one, when that happens, like. Technically, so if I'm going out and up like this, and Alex comes in and turns me in, I end up in this position, which again is basically where Curtis ended up, and then he comes back up to his arm, and now he's in a hook and he feels comfortable, and in that part it was like, we're in here. So I'm saying if Curtis was actually like this and dove in and got really on his hook, which even when he's arm wrestling guys around here, you don't see him do that much. Like, he likes to just suck you in and then be like, I'm in control. A chop.
Yeah, exactly. Or just straight chop, which is an amazing move, but it just shows that you're like multiple percentages, like many percentages stronger than your opponent when you can do that. So yeah, that was definitely, I think, something that hopefully, obviously you don't want to learn from a match by tearing your bicep, but I think it was great for him to get to that level, because I think it's just a technical disadvantage at that level now. It's just, again, he's broadened his horizons a little bit of who he's pulling with and everything. That's how it's always been with the sport. Like the first time Todd Zilla got to pull John Brzenk was the first time that he was like, John was like, hey, come out and practice with us. And then I'm pretty sure Todd would drive like a reasonably long distance to go make the practice to be able to practice with John Brzenk, and that's a huge reason how he got so good, and that's how this sport always is. So I think Curtis is definitely at that level where he needs to be practicing with guys. Not only like same structure makes a big difference, but strength and technique level, so that he can really start to refine some of those techniques, which they only get tested when you're with somebody that's at the same strength level, which is so hard for him to find.
Yeah.
So, but he took it like a champ. He's going to come back stronger. I know from my experience, it's not a bad injury to have. It just sucks to go through.
Yeah.
But once it's all healed up and everything, I don't know. That right arm is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, he's not done. He's only 5 years in. He's only getting better.
Yeah, and he's still young. He's younger than me. So,
yeah.
He's got tons of future in the sport, and we look to see him. Hopefully have a rematch with Zurap one day. As far as Zurap goes, guy's a fucking beast, man.
Dude,
that
so thick.
So strong, and thick in all the right places, and again, just such good technique and a warrior. And
Georgians really showed up last night.
Oh man, did they ever?
Yeah.
So anyway, props to Curtis, props to Zurap, wishing Curtis a speedy recovery. And
last thing we'll touch on is that Georgie and Jerry match, and maybe Devin's response to it.
Yeah, I guess since we're talking about high hookers, right? We might as well keep it relevant.
That match is like, it's funny to see, because it's so many times we just really like, Georgie's not going to pin Jerry this way. There's no way. He just can't top roll Jerry.
Yeah.
It's just he's gonna keep coming out of the strap. The only way is to come up and finish with a press.
You want to just like do it, kind of?
Like, I'm never gonna, like, he's just letting his hand go.
Yeah. And again, like Alex is saying, even with the strap, like they're out here eventually where the strap is like keeping them together. But all Georgie needs to do in that position is commit.
He's got to
transition.
Yeah. He's got to have no fear.
Simple.
I mean, it's kind of a scary thought to come up inside with Jerry, but once you have all that hand, what are you afraid of?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be that strong.
Even look at how Todd does it when he's Kings moving. Like even against Ungabayev, when he's here, he starts these little side pressure hits. So again, if you go Jerry and I'm Buddy and I'm here like this, all I got to do is start a couple like testers this way, and once I feel it's good, maybe like pull out, and then just come in and commit hard.
Yeah.
And again, that's what Devin's talking about. It's just simple learning how to arm wrestle and learning the martial art of it. Like if you could put Ungabayev's technique into Georgie's body, like it would have been no contest. He would have made Jerry look like an absolute fool.
He'll beat Levon.
Yeah, maybe, which is kind of what Devin is saying when he's like, I'm better, like I'll beat everybody other than everybody in that's under Levon, basically, or under that like super heavyweight monster division, which Jerry's right on the line of that. It's just that Jerry, like, his move is very problematic for a lot of pullers, but a lot of the reason for that is because those pullers won't come inside, won't come up and do what Iraqi did, do what Dave Chafee did. Where they needed to, they committed to another part of the game. That was the right answer. It's such a little chess match, and there are so many moves where it's like you can, like Todd Zilla said at the seminar, it's like rock, paper, scissors. It doesn't matter how hard you throw paper. If I throw scissor, you lose. Like you can throw that paper as hard as you fucking want. And I love that analogy because that's exactly what it is here. It's like you can throw that move at me as hard as you want. If we're close in strength level and I pick the right move to counter it, it's just going to look like butter the other way every single time.
Yeah.
So
I think Devin is coming for that heavyweight title. He's also talking about facing Kirigali.
Yeah. I think technically, like the way, even though he won the heavyweight now, maybe the way he's going to have to do it is take Jerry's helmet and shield, then defend his helmet and shield, then go down and take the next helmet and shield, and then might have to take a break for a minute to come back up and defend, because by that point,
I don't think he even wants to gain any weight. I think I'll take Jerry on at 115. I'll stay here.
He's a little over one. He's like 120, but yeah, I got what you're saying. He's not going to bulk for Jerry.
No,
most likely. He's going to stay healthy, and he's right too. Like we didn't even know Devin back in 2017, but it's a completely different animal. It's
Yeah.
a completely different animal from when we met him, and that was 2 years past when he last pulled Jerry. So I'm not saying that Jerry's gotten a lot worse or anything. Maybe Jerry's gotten a few percentage better than when he pulled Devin, but
Devin's
not
leveled
anywhere
up,
near.
seriously.
Yeah, not anywhere near the level that Devin has gotten to. So once again, probably longer video than we went to, but super wicked event.
Props
Thank you,
to Engin.
Yeah, always running it awesome. And we're trying to keep the hype going for our qualifier here in Toronto. It's
More
gonna
East
be-
versus West matches coming soon.
Exactly. It's going to be absolutely epic, and it's all part of this same, umbrella of East versus West. So we're going to have a lot more videos coming out about that. There's going to be a lot of cool people, a lot of special guests there. So we'll keep trying to hype it, let everybody know, spread the word, save the date. April 8th in Toronto at the El Mocumbo. It's going to be nuts. East versus West taking over the arm wrestling world. Here we go, and monkeys out. Peace.